Hello YouTube, I'm Chris, I'm the studio lead at 19 Stone Ninjas and I'm giving you a devlog update for our game Subnet. We, as people may be aware, if you've watched any of our other blogs, we tend to develop in our spare time at the moment. None of us are in a position to do it full time, unfortunately. We have lots of other commitments that need fulfilling, and unfortunately game dev doesn't allow you to do that unless you either hit it big or you've got a few games out, things like that. But yeah, it's a passion, and we're pushing it in our spare time. Anyway, I'm giving you this month's devlog update. I haven't updated for about a month and a half now, nearly 2 months actually, mainly because it's the end of summer in the UK and basically everybody's busy. Everything's going on as well in my life. I've been looking for work in real life. I'm a contractor, so I spend a lot of time speaking to recruiters, etc. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that recently. On top of that, because I've been out of work, I've been taking advantage of the time and sorting out all of the rubbish that I've accumulated over the last 5-10 years. And I've been sorting through it and upgrading PCs and things like that, and also setting up another PC for a build server and for streaming and for encoding and things like that. All various things that take a lot of time off my computer, you know. So yeah, we haven't done a devlog update because it's been so quiet. We haven't got that much to show you. I will show you what we've been up to, but as I said, bear in mind that it's just been very slow recently. So first of all, we've updated recently to Unity 4.6 beta. This contains a new UI system, and the new UI system is very nice, especially in comparison to Unity's old GUI scripting. Not that I have a problem with scripting. I mean, that's what basically I do for a living. I write code, but the Unity's implementation of the UI, for whatever reasons, has been terrible from day one. The new UI system is amazing in comparison. It allows you to play with game objects physically. It allows you to resize, rotate, anchor, all kinds of stuff. It's really quite cool so far. Anyway, so what I've done with it, for those who've seen previous devlogs, I've been working on the hacking UI for a while. There's still a lot of work to be put into it, but I wanted to get it a bit cleaner, and I wanted a 2D interface over the top of the 3D interface that I've already created. So I'm just going to give myself some hacking skill, and I'll go into this one here. So you see we've got these pop-ups now. So they're within the screen at the moment, but hopefully at some point we'll have a nice interface design and a nice, like, the whole thing will look a lot nicer and a lot more arty. It's just very basic for the time being. So yeah, we've now got this UI that follows the camera around slightly. If we hack this device here and then go to the camera, you see the UI turns off and turns back on. Please ignore the modem sound. I just put it on there to make me aware that something was happening. So yes, that's basically it so far. We've now this floating text around the UI at the moment is going to be replaced by this UI over the top. In addition, when you go to a camera and you right click it after you've hacked it and go to view lens, at the moment it does nothing. But what it will do, and what I've already implemented, I just haven't connected the button up to the overlay, is a camera view here, so you'll be able to see through the eyes of the camera, and that will again help you make decisions in the game and help you decide, right, do I need to turn this camera on or off? Is it relevant? Where's it looking at? What are the enemies doing around that area, etc, etc. There's going to be a lot of cameras in the game, so it's going to be quite a key feature, I think. One of the other things that I've worked on, and I can show you in this room, I've actually spent a lot of time doing this, is the new, the updated, let's just hack that one, the updated quick save and quick load system. One of my bugbears in games is when, for example, let's turn this one off. I'm just setting up for the save and the load so you can see what goes on with it. Obviously we've got a menu up there. Unlock that one and open it, and then we'll just possibly, I think we can just unlock this one. Oh no, we can. Let's lock it. So that's now locked. Now, there's some. I said there's some games. In fact, let's pick this up here. Some games have a quick load system, but everything resets itself. I mean, it doesn't happen with AAA games as much these days, but you see all of this is different. Anyway, let's do a save. So we do a save there. I'm just going to move over here, and then I'll do a quick load. So I've added a loading screen. Again, looks horrible at the moment, but it will look a bit better when we've finished with it. And as you can see, all of these, this should be locked. Yeah, door locked, stay unlocked. And this door's open. This is over here. Unfortunately, it does lose momentum. So if you save while something's moving, like a prop is moving, it will just stay in the same position and rotation as it was when you saved. I don't know how much of an issue that's going to be, but we can do something about that later on. The other thing, AD off. So the other thing that I can show you is some art that we've got into the game. Again, anyone who's watched my stream will already be aware of this. But we now have a bathroom in the game. And this bathroom has mirrors, and the mirrors at the moment just rotate to look at me. So what I'm doing with the mirrors is it's a render texture. What a render texture is to someone who is to the uninitiated it's a texture object that you create within your project. It's a physical file, and then what happens is you can set a camera in the game to render to that texture, so it will update every frame. As you can see, it's pretty good. But the rotation is totally wrong for how a mirror should actually work. So this needs to be probably a panning movement rather than a rotation movement. Still looking at my face, but yeah, we'll see. I've got a little bit of work to do, but for the time being, it works okay, and I'm happy with it for like a proof of concept for us for the time being. I'll worry about the detail of it later. As you can see as well, there's lots of red textures in here. The red textures are ones that need to be replaced with like a porcelain at the moment. This pink one here, this needs to be removed entirely. This is actually a bin mesh that's been, unfortunately, it's been put into the actual room mesh itself. So these two bins need to be removed because we need to have them as separate entities so we can kick them around and move them, etc. All of these doors will be openable. There is a vent through there which you can just about see if I duck down. There's also toilets, etc. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, unfortunately, there's not much more to report in the actual game itself. The saving and loading persistence, I also removed that as well. Well, looks of it at some point. The saving and loading persistence stuff is has taken up a lot of my time. I mean, I haven't been working on this as much as I really want to, but real life does get in the way sometimes. But the saving and loading stuff has taken a lot of time because you have to basically mimic, because I can't. It's not practical for me to serialize every object in the game. So what I'm doing is I'm selectively serializing stuff. And again, to those who don't know, serialization is a process of taking an object and making it into a text or binary that can be saved to disk and then can be deserialized back into the objects at some point. So I've got a lot of methods and functions and objects that are dealing with that specifically. So there's been quite a lot of work put into the save and load system, but it now works and I'm happy with it to the point where I just need to keep adding things as I do it. Most of it's based on a tag system in Unity, so if you tag something it will get serialized, but unfortunately I have to, if there's a new type of object, for example, I've written a system for the network devices, for the props, for the for doors, for the player, for his adrenaline, health, position, rotation, etc. All of that stuff has been serialized separately, but if I need to save anything different, like for example the AI characters, when we get them in there, I'll need to save their position and their rotation and their states. Then all of that will need to be serialized into the disk as well. At the moment, the save games are very small. They're about 12 or 18 kilobytes. So I think it'll stay quite small while we do it. But yeah, there's not much else I can show you. I mean, there's a lot of tweaking, a lot of faffing around that we've had to do. I've added, as you can see, if we look down there, actually it's probably better if I go around here to show you. I've added in Eric's texture for all the vents everywhere. We've also got, which you can't hear on a slope at the moment. Again, that's another bug that needs sorting. But it's a bit loud for now. And as I said, there's bugs with it, and there's bugs with these textures as well, as you can see. But we've now got like a, which needs to probably be a little bit more synced into the crawling, but at least it works and it's in there for the time being, you know. You know, I remember I couldn't get out of this last time. I need to sort that out at some point. Anyway, so yeah, in terms of the actual game itself, that's pretty much all the work that's been done in it. There's been a lot of bug fixing as I've been doing the loading, the saving and loading systems, because of the way that I've implemented a lot of things. They weren't useful for the serialization, so I've had to rejig quite a lot of things to do with the network devices specifically. It's quite a complex system in the background. But yeah, so in terms of the game, Eric's done a great job of that bathroom, which I showed you briefly, and hopefully we'll be getting the other bathrooms updated and put in, because each one was slightly different, even though most of them are the same. This one's got a vent hole there, for example. That one doesn't have one, but it's a female toilet. And the one downstairs, I think it's under here. So the male one here doesn't. It's going to be the same without the vent hole, and this one is the same as upstairs, but with a vent hole up here. So, you know, each one of them is pretty much unique, unfortunately. Yeah, there's nothing else. We have done another piece of concept art that I'm sitting on at the moment, and I may release in the next few months. We're still working on the character. There's going to be a lot of work when I get the character to put into the game properly, to actually get it hooked up to UFPS and make sure it doesn't clip through the camera, and the camera kind of relates to where his head is and things like that. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet, but we'll do something and get there. I've also been doing a lot of promotion and kind of, you know, gaining interest. I've created a Giant Bomb page as well. We've now got a wiki page on there. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of my time has been taken up with personal stuff recently, and hopefully, even though I'm starting a new job tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get more time on an evening to do more game dev, because I'll be a bit more structured now, I think, and I've finished most of the stuff that I've had to do in my house. But yeah, I think that's probably the update for now. I'm also doing another show called I'm doing a show called Resonance Arcade with my friends, which is like a game dev, game industry kind of talk show. Kind of inspired by Josie at MMO Buff a little bit. I mean, inspired by the fact that I don't see my friends enough, and the people that I have on the show, they are my best friends, you know, and it's nice to be able to talk to them at the same time as do a bit of promotion for Subnet, and also talk games and play games or something. So I'm doing that on the side as well. I'm going to be doing a few MMO Buff shows over the next few months, weeks, but I won't be doing the data mine anymore, unfortunately, because it's during the day, and unfortunately my contracts I probably won't be able to do it. I'll take time out from them to do the Thursday daytime ones, but I am trying to get involved in some of the evening ones, because the MMO Buff community in general is a very nice one, and it's a well-run show and very informative, I think, and I enjoy talking. Apart from that, I've got a Manchester Unity group talk coming up at some point when they rearrange the show. I was going to talk about the character parkour again, as I did on the first MMO Buff show that I went on. So apart from all that, I'm just real life and Subnet. That's my life at the moment. We're still looking for technical artists and environment artists, or one of the same, someone who can come in and kind of take the world and start running with it and start texturing things, start creating things from the concept art. Although Eric and Burton are both capable of doing it, they also have their own things that's going on. Excuse me. They also have their own responsibilities within the game workflow, so and obviously all their own things that are going on as well. So we need more resource. We need more people helping with the game world in general. And I think that's about it. So yeah, I'm probably not going to get as many updates out as I should. I should have been doing a lot more than I am doing. But again, if we haven't got much to tell, there's not much to show. So if we haven't done much, there's not much to tell on the devlog. So I don't want to just talk for the sake of it. And on that note, I will bid you all adieu. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter channels, which are pretty much all 19 Stone Ninjas. Oh, sorry, no, take that all back. The Twitter channel is at 19 Ninjas. Our YouTube channel is /19 Ninjas. No, 19 Stone Ninjas Dev, I believe, or 19 Ninjas Dev. 19 Ninjas Dev, I think. And obviously we're also on Facebook with /19 Stone Ninjas, and then our website 19stoneninjas.com. Check that out, and that's where all of the project information is. Any like blog updates that we do in between these video logs. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a little bit more to show you in the next few months. It's been quite a quiet few months, and we're just kind of recovering from it at the moment. So, but thanks for your patience, and thanks for watching, thanks for following, and I'll see you later.